old friend.
Hello?
I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Yes, Thomas, you're at Marysville Health. I got 108. I'm getting a report there's a possible shooting in the cafeteria. You're on site right now.
10-10. Scene's clear for 8. Get him in here.
Okay.
Medic 61.
Requesting you stand by in the area. WJSW.
Carrying 61.
Copy. So I have 865 SALS. These are confirming 2 code black 3.
Confirming 2 cold black. From the to the cafeteria. Snowpack.
Contacting the Burgers. 861 mission contacting the Burgers.
2 additional.
It's that kind of job where we don't want to talk about when we're having a tough time. We keep it in. Then we come in to our job and we take on more of society's ills and we try and fix it. we've asked these young men and women to do sometimes incredible, amazing, unbelievable things that Hollywood makes movies about. Those big things take a toll. We owe it to them. We owe it to them to do everything we can to help them through these crises.
Units inbound to Resident 5-1, Buzzard landing on East. Report of a house and garage fully involved. There is one female unaccounted for. One RP session on the back deck, another RP session downstairs, and that she's disabled.
Okay, Battalion 81, why don't you go ahead and start me 3 more engines?
Copy, 3 more engines.
Today's lesson is lifting, moving, and rapid extrication. Our objectives. Upon completion of this lesson, you will be able to define the term body mechanics and discuss how the following proper patient lifting and moving techniques can help prevent work-related injuries. List 3 emergency moves and 2 non-emergency moves for lifting and moving a patient. Describe specific situations in which an emergency and a non-emergency move is necessary to move a patient and explain how each one is performed. Provide 7 examples of patient moving equipment and explain how each one is used to move a patient. Demonstrate the techniques of immobilizing and transporting a patient using a backboard. Define the term extrication and entrapment and explain how they differ. Describe the 10 phases of vehicle extrication and the role of the EMT during each one. Discuss the various factors related to ensuring situational awareness at the site of vehicular extrication, including controlling traffic flow, performing assessment, stabilizing the vehicle, dealing with unique hazards, and evaluating the need for additional resources. Discuss patient care considerations related to assisting with rapid extrication, providing emergency care to a trapped patient, and removing and transferring a patient. Background. After arriving the scene, a patient may need to be handled or transported. Swiftness at the scene may be a major consideration in a dangerous situation. If a patient is handled improperly, it may cause further injury. Each EMS system defines when and how a patient may be moved, generally only if the patient is in immediate danger. Body mechanics. Definition for body mechanics. This is in where proper use of your body to facilitate lifting and moving and to prevent injury. Incorrectly lifting and carrying equipment or patient could cause injury and potentially end an EMS career or cause lifelong pain. Under body mechanics, when it comes to lifting, follow these basic rules to prevent injuries. Plan your move before lifting an object. Use your leg to lift nor your back. Keep the weight of the object as close to your body as possible. Stop. Move your body as a vertical unit. Visualize your shoulders as tucked onto your hips to your feet. Reduce the height or distance you need to move an object. Reposition and lift in stages. And as a reminder, the key to preventing injury is correct alignment of the spine. And indeed, teamwork is essential. A proactive, well-balanced physical fitness program should include training in flexibility, cardiovascular exercise, strength, and nutrition. And now, about moving patients. How soon should you move the patient? Must you complete your assessment before moving the patient? How much time you should spend on spinal protection? Which should come first, head or leg? Let's have the answers. It depends on the circumstances. Generally, if there is no threat of injury, provide emergency care and then move the patient. If the scene is potentially unsafe or possess an immediate threat, you may have to move the patient. Patient moving technique can be classified as emergency moves and non-emergency moves. Emergency moves. Make an emergency move only when there is immediate danger to the patient, such as the following: fire or threats of fire, explosion or threats of explosion, inability to protect the patient from hazard at the scene. Those hazards are unstable building, rolled over car, hostile crowd, hazardous materials, spilled gasoline, and extreme weather. The greatest danger in making an emergency move is the possibility of aggravating a spinal injury. Provide as much protection to the spine as possible. Pull the patient in the direction of the long axis of the body. Try not to move the head away from the neck and shoulders, and secure the hands and the arms. Moving patients away from a vehicle quickly and safely may be impossible. Move the patient only under conditions mentioned above. As we talk about emergency moves, we have different types of emergency moves. The following are: shirt drag, shoulder or forearm drag, blanket drag, piggyback carry, one rescuer crutch, cradle carry, firefighter's drag. Look at the following emergency moves. Can you tell me what are these emergency moves? The first picture shows shirt drag. The second, to the right, is the forearm or shoulder drag. The last one is the blanket drag. So how about those pictures that's shown? Can you identify it? Well, the first one is one rescuer crutch. The second one is the piggyback carry. And this one is a firefighter's drag. And this one? Can you identify this one? Well, that is a cradle carry. Non-emergency moves. Where there is no immediate threat to life, the patient should be moved only when ready for transport, using a non-emergency move. Complete the on-scene assessment and treat the patient first. Prevent additional injury and try to avoid causing discomfort and pain to the patient. Non-emergency moves generally require minimal equipment. However, if you suspect spinal injury provides proper spinal immobilization prior to moving the patient. Often, patient carry device can be utilized. Examples of non-emergency moves, we have direct ground or what we call bed lift. This move is difficult if the patient weighs more than 80 kilos, is on the ground or other low surface, or is uncooperative. Requires at least 3 people. The next one is extremity lift, commonly used to move patients from a chair or bed to a stretcher or the floor. Do not use on patients with extremity injuries. Positioning the patient. How you position a patient depends on the patient's condition. For example, in a patient showing signs of shock, you may place them in a shock position. You should elevate the legs or foot end of long spine board at 20 to 30 centimeter. In this manner, you will put your patient or shock patient. For another example, a patient with respiratory problem can be positioned in Fowler's position. The Fowler's position shown in the picture. For another example, in patient with abdominal pain, you can always put them in fetal position. The fetal position was shown in the picture. For trauma patients, especially suspected spinal injury patients, should be appropriately immobilized on long spine board. And place the patient in recovery position if unconscious and not contraindicated. Obviously, it is not possible to address every situation. Conditions at the scene and the patient's condition will dictate a good position for the patient. Let's have now patient carrying equipment. Such equipment includes stretcher and other devices designed to carry patients safely to their destination. Typical equipment used to move patients includes wheeled stretcher, bariatric stretcher, lightweight portable stretcher, or what we call folding or collapsible, flexible stretcher, vest-type extrication device, basket stretcher, scoop stretcher, stair chair. As you can see, these are the example of wheeled stretcher and bariatric stretcher. The next examples are lightweight portable stretcher and foldable stretcher. As shown, we have basket stretcher and Kendrick extrication device. We have also stair chair and scoop stretcher. And as you notice, we have backboards. These devices are usually made of splinter-resistant wood or synthetic material that will not absorb blood. They usually have handholds or carrying straps. There are 2 types of backboards. One is long backboard. This measures 6 to 7 feet long, used for patients found lying down or standing and who must be immobilized. We have the second one, the short backboard. This measures 3 to 4 feet long. Together with the longboard, used primarily to remove the patients from vehicle to when neck or spinal injuries are suspected. We have also components of a backboard. The first one is cervical collar. The second one is the strap. The third is head immobilizer. Those are the components of backboard. In using the backboard, you can utilize diamond carry. Using the backboards, you can use one-hand carrying technique. Face each other and use both hands. Lift the backboard to the carrying height. Turn in the direction you will walk and switch to using one hand.